So on Monday, February 22nd, J.I.D actually announced on his Instagram that he will be releasing his album, The Forever Story, very soon. And along with that announcement, he also put out the song Tuskegee, which is amazing. He put out a music video for it as well. And the whole idea of the song is to celebrate Black History Month and to kind of, show the lives of the people living in Tuskegee, Alabama.
It's pretty crazy because Jed's going on this whole journey right now, and I love where he's going with his aesthetic. I think he's gonna have an absolutely crazy album, and it's crazy because we do these types of content where we do like the what to expect or whatever else comes with it, before the album drops. But I'm really hyped for this one, and I'm hyped to do this video because not a lot of people are really talking about this new J.I.D album like they're supposed to be. I mean, I feel as if after DiCaprio 2 dropped and like 3 years later, we kind of haven't gotten anything, and since 2018. People kind of forget where he's at, but I do think that he is going to drop an absolute masterpiece. I mean, if there's anyone in the game right now to do it, it's probably him.
Yeah, and what's amazing is that, like you said, he hasn't dropped in 3 years, but he's kept building up the hype after, appearing on Revenge of the Dreamers 3, which is a project that a lot of people say that he kind of dominated on. And apart from that, he dropped the Spillage album, so he's been super active. And I feel like a lot of his fan base has grown after DiCaprio 2. Because of those projects that he did on the side. And it's just crazy to see how much of a talent he is, man. The way that he can rap so quickly with the best wordplay in the game, his ability to change his flows up, it's amazing. But what really excites me is that, the Forever Story is kind of going to be, I guess you could say, a sequel to the Never Story, which was his debut album. And that project was kind of like showing us his upbringing in East Atlanta. And it was amazing, man. From the production to J.Cole's kind of direction on it.
Everything you wanted.
Yeah.
And another thing with J.I.D is that you'll never get a bad performance with him. Every time he goes into a song, it's always really well calculated. I'm a super huge fan of his flow.
What did you think of the most recent song, Tuskegee?
I liked it. I think I love the direction he's going with, and I like how personal he's getting because, he's talking about different subject matter here, and he's talking about what he wants to talk about. And, regardless of what type of performance J.I.D puts on, as I was just saying, it's going to be fantastic. And that's exactly what I got with this, and I like how he's doing the music videos with them. And because I'm a big fan of J.I.D's, creative visuals, and I really think he has some of the best music videos in the game right now. And I think if he continues down this road, he could have a really dominant 2021 because there's so much stuff we could dive into. And do you think at any point J.I.D is going to drop a project that maybe isn't up to par with his other ones?
There's absolutely no way, man. Just because I'm yet to hear a bad J.I.D verse. I haven't heard one. And apart from that, like, even if I'm basing it off of what he's put out, in the last couple of months, he put out that Cutter freestyle. He put out the Bruh remix with Denzel Curry, which was absolutely amazing. And he also put out this collaboration with K Tronada. I don't know if you heard it.
Yeah, fire.
That was really good too.
It was super good. Yeah. And I like the direction he's going into. He's trying to get really refined with his production. He's trying different productions. I mean, it's not every day we see someone, collaborate with K Tronada. It's like, it's a different type of energy now, I feel as if for J.I.D. Like, he's starting to get on that level.
Yeah, I just hope that Cristo is behind most of the production on the Forever Story just because they mesh so well together.
It would be crazy.
Yeah, and I just love J.I.D because he always brings that cinematic value. We saw it in DiCaprio 2. We're seeing it with, Tuskegee, and how he has kind of an interview play as he's rapping in the background.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Amazing. And the content matter is so deep. He's talking about like these crazy experiments they did to African Americans in Alabama in the 1930s. So to see him not only like make songs that I'll play in my car, but I'm actually like, gaining knowledge.
Yeah, gaining intellect from it.
Exactly.
Like, J.I.D's on a different mode right now, and if that's the sort of vibe that we're getting out of this album, I'm super down for it.
Did you also see who he's collabing with in the studio?
I have not.
So he was spotted one night with James Blake, Corday, and Anderson .Paak.
Whoa, yeah, those are some big names right there. Out of those three, if you had to pick one of them to have on the album, who would you have?
Definitely Anderson .Paak, just because I want to see J.I.D get into his Hereditary bag and just go on that R&B neo soul type of aesthetic. So
yeah, Anderson .Paak would definitely. It would probably be the best feature out of all three of them. But someone I would really like to see him go with is James Blake. All jokes aside, I think James Blake, once he gets on that really melodic side, could really add to a J.I.D production. And I feel as if that record would go absolutely crazy. But going back to the Corday thing, that would be a whole different energy because like you would get the melodic sides from both Anderson .Paak and James Blake, but Corday would bring in that raw energy.
They could all be on the same song for all we know. Who knows, man?
Imagine the Forever Story has a James Blake an Anderson .Paak and a Corday feature.
That'd be insane, man.
Imagine that
I
goes
really
down.
hope it happens, and it's possible. But what's crazy about the Forever story is that I feel like, you know, the Never story was about his come up, and now he's at a place where I think he's going to talk about kind of establishing his legacy, where he kind of views, you know, the world and the rap game, and just him cementing himself once again, displaying that raw talent like he always does. And I'm just so excited to hear it.
Yeah, it's going to be the perfect middle point between DiCaprio 2 and the Never story, because the Never story was more cinematic in the way where, you know, there was a lot more storytelling and it was a lot more calculated within the track list. But DiCaprio 2 was really a project that showcased his skills and his rapping
Also
abilities.
very cinematic, though.
It was cinematic, though. You know, like obviously with, you know, all the skits and everything else going on. But I mean, like the Never story just had more of like that storytelling sort of vibe, where the track list was made in a way for you to go through the story and have it, you know, have the imagery in your head. Whereas I feel as if DiCaprio 2 was really an album concentrating on the quality of his you know, delivery, one of them, and two, his rhyme schemes.
Yeah,
because there's nothing that missed on it.
You could say that the Never story was more cohesive and kind of fit more of a narrative.
But that's the thing, is like I would like to see the middle of that, right? Like imagine getting a project that has that storytelling but also has, you know, the sort of skills that he upgraded on DiCaprio 2, because I do say that JID had a big improvement in my eyes. Like it wasn't necessarily something where I said like, okay, the Never story wasn't a good project because, you know, JID wasn't performing up to par or whatever it was. It's just like, obviously if JID is going to release an album, what was it, a year later? Because 2017, that's when
it was a year later. Yeah, he definitely upped the skills.
He definitely upped the ante, right? It was just like, okay, the Never story just felt more complete and had more storytelling. But now I want to see where he's at with it. And another really big hope for me is the Spillage album. You know, like that really like sort of gave me an indication where JID's at, and I like it because it's not necessarily only rap too, and I feel as if JID fans sort of have to be open to maybe a new melodic sort of JID, someone that's gonna try and get some R&B in there and maybe some soul and funk as well, start to get some melodies in there.
Yeah,
so,
and he's kind of always brought that in like small portions on his albums, but maybe he'll bring that into a, you know, a bigger extent.
Would you be down for that though? Would you be down for that duality?
I'd be inferred if it's like a 50-50 split of like those hardcore, you know, lyrical tracks and then some of the more songs that are similar to All Bad or Hereditary.
Well, I mean, that's probably where Anderson .Paak and James Blake would probably strive the most. So,
yeah.
Man, there's so much to talk about with this album, but it's crazy because it's coming soon.
It is.
You know, he admitted it on the IG. Listen, we're holding JID up to this. If he doesn't drop it, we're going to be extremely frustrated, and we can't wait to do our review on this. It's going to be absolutely crazy.
And guys, we're covering these what to expect on these new drops. You know, pretty much every week at this point.
Tell your friends, guys. I mean, I don't mean to be that guy, but literally tell your friends. You know, this is absolutely crazy. We're connecting the world to hip hop, guys. Go check out our other videos, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Enjoy the rest of your day.